doing absolutely wonderful. Bienvenue encore sur notre chaîne d'Étincelle. Étincelle Talk Show, votre chaîne, votre TV talk show que vous aimez tellement, that you love to connect. You know that I love to speak in French at first, so you can, breathe a little bit as we are about to start in. I'm your host, Gracia Susuzande, and I have my guest beside me, Princess Shani, and this is how she likes to be called. But I'm going to present her even more in a couple minutes. This is just, first of all, to say thank you so much for connecting this Monday, for always being there. Honestly, I give you all the crowns and I applaud you. Thank you so much once more. And before I even say anything, bonne année, because this is our first show of the year, and with my beautiful guests, we are going to talk about so many subjects, and in trying to open up this envelope of this theme today, tonight, so you can listen. I can't wait to dig in because this is really exciting. But can you do something for me, please? Can you share? Can you share this live on all your platforms so we can create a much bigger audience? You know, we can here be talking to ourselves, but we need you. We need that people, connects, so we can, so we don't just talk to ourselves in a sense. Because whatever we need to say is also for you, is for your family, community, and worldwide. All right. So I'm gonna give you a short little break. Do that, and as soon as we come back, we dive in. See you soon. Bonjour, et j'espère que vous allez très bien. Comme vous savez déjà, I already have somehow introduced her, but let me say that my guest today, beautiful she is, with curly hair, blonde, very tall, a beauty queen. She is an entrepreneur. She is a business lady. She is a beauty queen, as I said, and she does so many things. They always say, behind a beauty face is hidden, someone very powerful. So, Princess Shani, welcome on Etincelle.
Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you for having me here.
The first time I heard your voice, I was like, what? Because your voice is so cute. I was like, this is wow, it doesn't match your body. Like, in a sense, like, because you're so tall and Grace on this, your voice is so cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really my honor to have you on Etincelle.
Thank you for having me here. I'm really pleased to be here.
Definitely. All right. So I know you a little bit. Would you be able to dig a little bit deeper when it comes to your introduction, so my guests can hear a little bit more about you?
Sure. So my name is Princess Shani, as I've been introduced. However, a lot of people know me as Etincelle Suma, as I am the queen that have won the Miss Pride of Africa UK 2022 until 2023. I'm also the founder of La Guignolise, an intercultural company, and a content creator, and I'm here today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once more, another welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so today we're about to talk about, the impact of culture, and fashion in the 21st century. All right, so as your beauty queen, I believe that this is something that touches you because of fashion. But what I really want to bring out even more, placer à l'honneur, in honor, is the both culture that you do represent. So you represent Congo and you represent Guinea.
That's right.
And this is amazing because, like, there's so many mixture around the world, and sometimes, we want to find out, like, how did this even happen? So how do you show up even more this both country that you were?
I guess to answer your question, it's not easy because you need to find the balance, of course. But to be honest, just as an African already, I'm very proud because in my mind, like you said, not only am I Congolese, but I'm Guinean. So I'm embracing not just the central side of Africa, but also the west side.
Yes.
So, for me, it's like,
it's
God bless me.
Yes.
So I'm very proud, honestly.
So who's Congo and who's Guinea?
So my mum, she's actually from Congo, so that's Congo Brazzaville, and then my father, that's Guinea, as in Guinea Conakry, just Guinea alone.
So if there's like a match going on, who do you support?
You know what was do you remember the AFCON that went not long ago? So I remember
Yes.
I had hosted like a little match, and then people were asking me, I didn't know what I would say.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, the person that wins is who, I'll be like,
Mhm.
So I had both the Guinean flag, then I
Very
had the
tricky.
Congolese flag. So as soon as Congo won, I was there waving my
That's
flag. I was
it.
like, I always supported Congo from the
Oh my
get-go. So,
God.
but it's very, very tricky.
Yes.
It's very tricky, but
Yeah. Oh wow. So Congo and Guinea, two different countries, two different cultures. It's not like there's even similar things. It's
At all.
completely different because in Guinea we have Muslims,
exactly.
right? And in Congo we have Christians. So two different religion, two different culture, and still they brought out a beautiful girl like you. So my question, I believe there's probably most of you that are asking, is like, how did you, growing up in this two different both world, how was it at home, really, in short words, if I may say? Was it like more the dad was dominant, or was it more the mom, or did you somehow find the balance between both of them?
If I'm going to be very honest, sans filtre, as we say. I only started finding the balance not too long ago. I'd say just maybe less than 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, actually. Obviously, I grew up in a Congolese household. I can speak my mother tongue, like Lingala, I can speak that. However, I cannot actually speak any languages fluently from my dad's side. I guess they both did an amazing job in terms of ensuring we incorporate every single cultural element. However, it was a struggle because, we are here, I'm born here.
Exactly.
So already I'm absorbing, I'm incorporating the culture, the Western culture. So imagine on top of that, you got two other cultures. And like you said as well, the country, the religions. So obviously that plays a big factor too, because my mom's side, they are Christians. So growing up, we were brought up as Christians, if you permit me to say. So it was quite hard.
Because I remember we spoke about the fact that Ramadan is literally around the corner, and you told me, this is important for me, like I need to prepare myself. So I was like, okay, so it's crazy how you, and not even crazy, I would say this is beautiful how you actually embrace both of them, honestly. No, seriously, like a big up, a real big up.
You.
Because someone else will literally choose one side and say, you know what, I love you, but let me stick to
I gotta
this
go,
one.
of course.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of people like that, and which is why that's how I find my passion to do what I do with the Guinealese. This is why I do it. And you know what? Even like, for example, you're fully Congolese.
Yeah.
It doesn't take someone to be mixed or full to embrace somebody else's country. That's the whole point of like cultural exchange. For example, me, if I was Nigerian, I'd say, oh, come and try this rice of ours or this. That already is a form of cultural exchange and promoting my culture in a way to you.
Yeah.
You even listening to, let's say, Ghanaian music. That's a way of you embracing their culture. But people only believe that, okay, you have to be from their culture. For example, I'm Congo and Guinea.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm allowed to incorporate both sides. No.
I hear that.
It's universal, which is why I do what I do. I invite everybody to come to the event, try other people's culture. I think we need to get into that space more.
Into the space, yes. So now, apart from, having Congo and Guinea under your roof, have you ever thought to yourself to travel back home and get a little bit more of that sun, trying to understand a little bit more of why?
What happened?
No, she told me to come. So coming back to this question, whereby you have two of of the best world with you at home. Have you ever had the opportunity to be able to go back home? Because sometimes like we have children who were born here, grew up here, and they tell me, nah, I'm not moving from from my country, which is England, to go where I've never been before. But what about you?
I've never done 1 year since, like, let's say coronavirus without going to Africa.
Wow.
Every year I'm always there. I don't do 6 months cannot go by and I haven't gone.
What is it that you like the most? As you feel like you didn't have it here, but you can definitely have it over there.
Of course.
What is it?
Even the food. Let's start from there. The food is organic. Hey, the food is organic, so you can't even compare the two. And I feel like because this country obviously has its own cultural values and norms.
Absolutely.
There's only, I think you're kind of limited. Even if you try to, I don't know, express yourself through your culture, you are limited, let's be honest, But I think back at home, it's like, this is what's normal for them.
Yeah.
So it's like I can go, it could be raining, for example, like in Guinea, it could be raining, you can see the griots, they're singing, the children are dancing in the rain.
Absolutely.
You're not going to see that over here in London. No. I feel, even though as much as I go there all the time, I'm always discovering something new. Always. And yeah,
that's it the home. Guinea that you went, or was it the Congo?
It was Guinea, but I've been to Congo. Like I did 1 month. Look at the Lingala trying to come.
No, like just say just few words.
Mamai. Donc nakinaki for 1 month. Nasaki un mois.
Yeah.
And it was okay. It was okay. It was okay. I think Congo is a bit more westernized compared to, I'd say, Guinea.
Okay.
They're very established. Ils sont vraiment devant.
Yeah.
So it's like when I came, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should have come here when I was younger. But it's like this place has been developed.
Yeah.
So it's like, no offense, I didn't leave England and look, with the fancy buildings to come to Congo again and see fancy buildings.
Yeah.
Whereas in Guinea,
the expectation.
Yeah, it's like I want to see Africa. It's nice to develop, but I also want to see the beauty of Africa, not the beauty of Europe in Africa. In Guinea, you can still find only by Ndako ya Bakiko.
Wow.
With the huts, the village huts. They still have that over there.
Ooh.
You can find that over there, but in Congo, I'm yet to see it. Donc, it's
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is a country where I really would love to see. I believe someone that I know went to see it, told me a little bit more about that, but I need to experience it myself.
Definitely.
All right then. So jumping into your culture. You've told us a little bit about it. You even went back home, and the beauty pageant. Like today, you have your name, but you call yourself Princess Shani, and I feel like. Is it the reason why you call yourself, is it because of the beauty pageant, or is it because of anything else, like because you love just beauty in general, or you just feel like a princess whenever you look at yourself in the mirror?
That's a very good question indeed. I've never actually been asked that. So the reality is, Nazaki princess long time ago before the crown. So I was always a princess before that. I guess just my mindset, whether it's the attitude, your family members or friends calling you, oh, princess, she's such a Barbie, she's such a princess. Wow. This is from secondary school. I used to be called it as a nickname. So the name Princess Shan Shan. And then I was like, I grew out of it. So I said, no, I like Shani, because somebody else called me that, and I said, I actually like it. And in Paris, that's what they called me.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to stick with this name. And that was, so I won the title. And people were like, I remember in the comments, they were like, you need to now upgrade from princess to queen. And I was like, fair point. But I said, princess is a princess.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's literally that.
So from the queen that you are, though you're a princess, but you're still a queen, what pushed you in this world of pageant? I mean, you could have done any other things, and I believe that you are very much, well educated. Whenever I speak to you, like, I do feel that, that side of intelligence, but beauty pageant, why beauty pageant?
So when I was much younger, I remember I used to have diaries and write what I wanted to be when I was older. And I remember like being a singer and artist. I remember I was like, that was at the top of the list. Then I said, I think it was Yvonne Nelson. She's a beautiful actress.
Yeah.
I used to just look at her Wikipedia and try and study to just be like her.
Okay.
I was very young. I was only 13 or 12. So I said, okay, and by the time I'm 18, I had already planned my life out basically. I said, when I'm 18, I need to be in the pageant. I need to be a queen. But then after then, it's like, you know, when reality just hits and you're like, Shan, stop it now, grow up. And then...
the bubble.
Yeah. And then one day I was just in Africa. I don't know if I was in Guinea, but I was definitely in Africa. And then, you know, Miss Pride had actually reached out to me and asked, well, you know, would you like to audition and try? And I thought, why not? You know, it's like there wasn't a yes, but it wasn't a no. But I said, why not? You know, at least try. And I went over, I did my thing, and I remember I wanted to give up halfway because it's not easy. Let me tell you this: if you want to go into the pageant world, we encourage you. However, just headstrong, you know, shoulder strong.
What was the struggle specifically that you went through? You felt like this was really hard for me.
I think what's that word? You need to be the word left my head. You need to be. Il faut oser la moins fort, you know.
Okay.
Why? Because discipline. That's the word I'm looking for. Self-disciplined. Because it takes a lot of rehearsals and practice. It's like sometimes I knew how to walk in heels, honey. So that wasn't an issue. But it's like getting the dance moves, getting this, getting that. It was a lot for my head to cooperate with. And obviously I was studying at the time. So I was like, I think I'm gonna go. But then a lot of girls in general, you know, they start dropping out because the pressure becomes too much. It becomes very, very competitive. And that's the whole point of the pageant. But then I remember the day I was actually planning to leave, they were mentioning we now need to pick a cause to fight for.
Wow.
And I remember being in Guinea just 2 months before that, I wanted to fight for people living with albinism. I said, I got to do something. But then I was like, oh, how am I going to do it? Because it requires a lot of financing. It requires a lot of time. You know, so I said, well, this is going to be the way for me. And, you know, since then, even though it was hard, it's like I started pushing myself even more. Rehearsals at home, I remember my mum was helping me. I remember her sister as well was also helping me. So, you know, exactly, it wasn't easy, but we got there.
Yeah.
So definitely self-discipline was something that was needed. And I love the experience, to be honest. It makes you who you are today. It's character building. It develops, you know, who you are.
So you mentioned you had a whole crowd literally supporting you in this. And you know what, I appreciate that because whenever you enter in a beauty pageant or any kinds of competition, the backbones that you need first is actually your family members. And it's so sad sometimes when we do not have that. So I do really encourage every single parent who are going to be connected in this time, and you see that your child is really want to go for something that they really like, try to encourage them because you are the first encourager. You are the first to really show love and care. But then you said something that really tricked me, albism. Why? Because there's so many places that you could have said, you know what, this is where I'm going to choose and try to uplift and try to highlight it even more. Why albism?
To be honest, I think everybody knows or have seen people with albinism. We may not know the full details or we may not be educated in that sector, but everybody knows. So I was one of the people that just knew of it, but I acknowledged it, but I wasn't aware, you know. So when I was in Africa, I think I was like stuck in traffic one day. Let's just say I was stuck in the car for at least over 40 minutes to get to somewhere that should have only been 15 minutes.
This is Africa.
It's Africa, and that's in the car. So when you're walking as well, sometimes it's much more longer because you can't compare walking compared to driving.
Yeah.
And I saw, you know, these two little children with albinism, and they were carrying the things in their head that I think they were going to sell it, I guess, I don't know. But they didn't have hats on. And I said, okay, I'm not really educated on that health sector. However, I am aware that you are meant to cover yourself with, you know, some type of UV like glasses, a hat. Those are basics that I already knew, but I didn't see that on them. And I remember when I reached my destination 40 minutes or above, I then see them approaching just maybe 5 or 10 minutes later. And I was like, I remember I was with my auntie, I said, is this normal? I said, why are they walking out like this? And imagine we've been in the car for this long and that means they were in the sun. Because sometimes it can be 40 degrees over there. It's hot. So then that got me worrying. And I remember I started going on Google, researching. And it just broke my heart that day. I remember I didn't really sleep well because there was in the back of my mind, I said, this is not fair. I'm sleeping well with a roof over my head, my skin, you know, I don't have any, you know, medical issues. And I said, that's not fair that, you know, we're just neglecting them. It's like, oh, society is just turning an eye on them. And then I just started researching. And then that's how I started finding out how they are maltreated around, I say, Africa. For example, like in Guinea, they don't really kill them. No. They don't, but they go to them, let's say, for sacrifice. So let's say you want to look for money, you give them money for them to pray on you, you know. So it's like I don't know, instead of going to, like, I don't know if they will go to them, okay, I'm going to give you this amount of money, so please, you know, it's like a sacrifice. Wow. You know what, when you're in church, sometimes you give donation. So that's the way, for example, a lot of people in our country, they do. Yeah. Not everybody, but some. Whereas obviously in Congo, I heard it's more drastic. They get killed. Even when they're buried, you know, you pick them up and you start selling their body parts in Malawi or, you know, in countries more to the east. You set them up and put them in volcanoes. It's everywhere if you read these stories. And I'm like, no. You know, so thank God when I had one, I think just 2 months, maybe 2 months or 1 month later, I flew straight away to Guinea. I think it was just not even 2 months, it was 1 month. I started my job straight away. I started my job, bought loads of sunscreens for them, just everything. And then 2 months later, I was now in Congo. I did 1 month in Congo, bought supplies. So it's like, even when I'm not in Africa, it's like sometimes I can transfer something. So. But it's really, really difficult. This is really deep.
Honestly, well done. Because, you know, there are so many queens who do win crowns, who do win competitions, but don't do much of, you know, of the platform that's been given to them. So I'm really going to encourage every single one of you, whenever you enter a competition, don't think, I mean, beauty pageant, because different competition, different goals, right?
Definitely.
So when it comes to beauty pageant, it's all about charity. It's not about you, but it's about others. And I really do applaud what you're doing, because when you give, it comes back to you.
It does.
It does. So let's jump and continue on this topic of, you know, this 21st century fashion and culture.
Yes.
All right. This is huge, because we need to understand that culture is a really bright subject. Fashion as well. It has different roots. We find fashion in religion. We find fashion in a society. We find fashion, you know, in so many places. And now it's like how to balance, how to, you know, to wear that with confidence, how to listen. Fashion is just a different world, right? So I feel like you're the best person, because first of all, you're very well dressed, right? So that means you know a little bit of, you know, when it comes to color matching, how to style certain things, and I feel like you can be able to tell us a little bit. So now, fashion culture. What can you tell me? How does these two really come together?
Well, first of all, it's in my blood. It's in our blood. We're from where? We're from Congo.
Yeah.
So it's in our blood. How it falls in, how it intertwines. It intertwines in many ways. I think positive and negative.
Yes.
Because, for example, us, like Congolese people, a lot of the times the way we dress, it reflects, you know, the imagery. For example, like especially with the men, you got the la sape, for example. Us ladies, you know, but the thing is, it's like the downside, the negative side, was say you come from like let's say West Africa, we dress more modest, you know, we dress more modest.
Like so from head to toe.
From head to toe. So sometimes, like, for example, me dressing like this, not everybody actually will understand. They'll say, oh, she's a whitey.
Yeah.
She comes from England, don't mind her.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm sure if I was born there and I was raised over there, this would be deemed as unacceptable, because the fashion that we look at on our TV screens here in London or in Paris or It's not what they see on their screens. It's not what their artists wear. What you find, let's say, Beyonce wearing in America, the USA, it's not what, I don't know, a random singer in one of those countries is wearing. So, you know, so fashion does intertwine. It has a lot to do with culture, I believe, in a way.
Yeah. Because I feel, I mean, we're gonna try to center our talk in fashion, but more like culture, not trying to go down, you know, on the other side of religion or so forth, but or tradition, but trying to stay more on a social platform, and how it really affects, because me and you, we live in la diaspora. La diaspora simply means, a country that maybe moved from one place to another, right? So me being Congolese, I moved from Congo to London to, Italy or any other places, and I'm staying there in order to, live a better life in a sense. So I feel like we, as the ones that living in la diaspora, we have lost somehow of our culture, because what do you think we have, or do you think we really have lost it?
I think we have lost it. I don't want to speak collectively, because obviously they're going to have one or two people. I know you're not talking about me, but
Yeah.
I believe collectively. However, we are starting to pick up. The job is getting done from what I've seen. But we, initially I believe, yes, we have lost it.
Yeah. Well, why do you think we have? I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, so if I elaborate further, a lot of, ask your friends what tribes they are from. And then you see the pause just before whatever the next answer is, that should tell you a lot. You know, me, myself, I didn't know what my Congolese tribe was, because until Miss Pie of Africa, actually.
Wow.
I didn't know it. It's when they said you need to now, dress, reflect your tribe. I was like, I had to now go home, do that research, my mother. So it just goes to show you, at least me, I'm only educated because I had to go out of my way for that. However, had it not been for Miss Pride, would I actually know? I don't think so. So just imagine the many other people. They just know I'm Congolese.
Yeah.
This is my culture. This is what matters. I don't need to go into details. So I think we have kind of lost it. It's not, culture is not always about just music and food. There's more to it. So
I think by some conversation that we do have, like day to day, that it's not really, or even maybe I could say or ask you the question, do you think it's maybe due to the parents' fault? Right? Let's just break the ice in that side, because for someone that comes from our native country, we're born there, raised there, we know the ups and downs. Now coming to a different country, do you think that it's down to them to pass it through, or do you think it's not up to them to to give us to continue the culture with us?
I don't want to 100% blame it on parents.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's all parents, that actually don't pass the information down. Obviously, unfortunately, I wasn't part of the children that had the parents to pass on the traditional information into. No shade. But, because I know they will be watching this, no shade, but I think some parents, they do try it, but sometimes the kids, we don't listen. We don't listen. And it's not only that, I think you got friends, you have maybe, when we were younger in this country, when you were proud of being from where you are from, they will call you like names like Freshie. I don't know if you've heard those tones, even though I've never been called that, but you always hear it around you. It's like, oh, this person's Freshie, or they're fresher off the boat, or villageoise. And it's like, you were calling them because they were very educated and they were embracing where they're from. But those that were saying it, it's like they're the ones that were really, really lost. Even though I have never been called that, and thank God I was never saying that to other people. However, I was listening. I didn't intervene. Sometimes, yes, I may have laughed here and there, but I was also part of those. Actually, yeah, we were lost. So it's like, you know, who has the last laugh now? You know, so I think those that definitely, let's say, have entered the country recently, those are the people that actually will try and pass on that information to you, even if your parents didn't. Sometimes you can learn through other people. We even got TikTok nowadays, thank God, that helps, you know, transfer certain information that we need to know. Like, for example, a lot of us didn't even know, okay, that there's more to Liputa, there's more other pines from Congo. You know, there are different, how do I say, patterns or, you know, prints that reflect the different traditions in the country. But I wouldn't know this because I'm from here. All I needed to know is like, okay, yeah, Liputa, we wear it. But then again, Liputa is worn in Nigeria, it's worn everywhere.
Exactly. And I actually found out that it's not just from Liputa, doesn't really come really from Africa.
It doesn't come from Africa.
It actually comes from different places. So after a long conversation with someone, the person you know, came to make me understand as well that living in the diaspora, not even the diaspora, let's just remain in London because this is where we are right now. London is a country whereby it has accepted so many immigrants around the world. It's like you just open the doors to whether you are Muslim, whether you are Algerian, whether you're Italian, whether you are from Russia. It's like all of them coming to London because they believe that they can have a better life. Now, do you think because of the, you know, the diversity that is, you know, is in England, London, can affect someone's culture?
Well, I agree with you in terms of London being very, very diverse. But I don't think it's hard or difficult. If I understood the question correctly, no. For example, like, I don't want to expose the borough that I'm from.
Yeah.
However, like the borough that I am from, they have for example, on Cultural Day, you know, this is where different communities are able to come together, showcase their cultures. Even in schools, they do this. I don't know about all the other boroughs in London, but I'm sure, like especially in Hackney, Newham, they do all of that. You know, so I don't think it is too difficult.
Is this the reason why? No.
I don't know.
Someone else would. I mean, after a conversation, for example, today, someone told me like, okay, Gracia, you know, because it can happen that you love chocolate so much that you forget, for example, to do other things, and because of you liking chocolate so much that you're more attracted to what you like in a sense instead of what you're supposed to, or the how am I gonna put this together? You being Congolese, but you like Moroccan culture more, and because you're living in this area whereby there's so many American, you dive more into that instead of your own. Do you think that maybe because of that, this diverse culture that we have in London, it can make you lose your ways in terms of your culture?
No.
Then
So if you're saying, if you do that, then you know you just say you wanted to be Moroccan, madam. Just say that, because I don't understand that. Okay. It's like when they say, okay, our generation, we like to listen to what do you call it, R&B. Please, on my telephone is only kaka, coffee. That's it. You know. So it's like I don't believe in that, because there's some people that I know that are from, let's say, my country, my countries, and they live, let's say, in Brixton. Brixton obviously is overpopulated. I don't want to say overpopulated, but there are a lot of Caribbeans, or I don't know, people with the background of Jamaica and so forth. And some of them, it's like now you will ask them, okay, let's go to this cultural event. Oh, I don't go there. And I'm like, why? Oh, I don't have any friends from our country because I only hang around the Jamaican people. Just say you wanted to be Jamaican, that's fine. Maybe that's their way of performing a cultural exchange.
Okay.
Because that is normal. There's a difference between cultural appropriation and appreciation. That, for me, I'll call it appreciation.
Okay.
You know, because they're, I think they are incorporating themselves into a culture that they were not born in, and they are embracing it. And that's like the powerful thing about diversity. This is what we forget.
Okay. So it's not just to see the downside or the bad side of diversity, but actually see the power of it.
It's very powerful. Look at this country. Let's be honest. It's an English country, right? It was an English country with English traditions and norms. But, you know, London, as you mentioned, is the most diverse place. Does it mean that the English have lost their cultural norms and values? No. You still find the fish and chip shops, as much as you may find the Turkish shops with the kebab and stuff, but you will never enter an area where they don't sell fish and chips. You know, let's be honest. So I don't think, to answer the first question, that person just wanted to be
that.
That's it.
Oh, wow. Coming to the next one, and this goes with culture and fashion. I had to place the flyer, you know, on our social media, and then there was a lot of questions, and this is where we can kind of go through the questions. And what the first question comes from a mom who is actually a pastor, and then she basically voiced out, and she said, I'm gonna read it. She said, in what culture makes young of this generation dress down their jeans, you know, to, you know, very low, and be able to see their, you know, their underwear? Because in African culture, bear in mind, we are really trying to stay in the African zone, and in the diaspora, all right? So as an African parents who raise their child in a certain manner, right, for them is a disrespectful way for you to walk around and have your jean up to your knees, for example, and think it's okay. So now someone else will be seeing you on the street, will say, who actually raised up this child? You know, you're not just gonna disgrace yourself, but you're actually disgracing your parents and disgracing, you know, the people who actually raised you. So what do you think about this culture embrace, or would you say it's a trend, and is it okay? So she said, how to fix it? Is it even possible to fix such thing?
I think I will answer the last question in terms of if it's possible to fix such thing, because I think if I share my opinion on the previous questions, it will be deemed appropriate because I am biased.
Yeah.
I agree with the mama. I agree with her. I never liked that. I don't think there is any excuse to defend that. Let's be honest. I don't know what type of culture that is from, because there's no culture that does that, whether it's English, whether it's American, whether it's African, whether it's Jamaican. No, that doesn't belong to any culture. You say maybe subculture, yes.
Okay.
A subculture, and even a subculture will be what, the hip hop or the gangster boys. I don't know, but I wouldn't even look at you.
Yeah.
It's like you behaving like a, je sais pas quoi, une vagabonde, je sais pas, I don't know. And I think it's just like you're a menace to society. You are, because nobody wants to see your buttocks. I don't think it's appropriate. Look at it as girls as well, when they walk around with a little bit of the thong, you know, sorry about my language, showing. That's not appropriate either. That doesn't belong to any culture. So I'll just skip my opinion.
Why do you think, like, at some point, because I remember it myself as well, it came like a wind, whereby a lot of youngsters were actually really dressing up like that. Hip hop, of course, but would you say it's a trend? And if it is, how is it that trend can affect, you know, the youngster to the point where they can actually forget about their culture?
Oh, that's a very good question. Now that you raise this question, it's making me look at it a bit, you know, from another angle.
Okay.
Why? We said it's, you know, inspired through trends. And these trends, where are we seeing it? In music videos, you know. If you watch TV, you see it in your music videos. It depends on what you listen to anyways, but as them type of guys are going to listen to these hip-hop videos, you're seeing that for them it's like, okay, this singer is cool, this singer is famous, this singer is rich, I want to be like this singer, so maybe I have to start incorporating their style. You know, or maybe, I don't know, you've seen it on the road. For example, if you live in these certain areas where there's
Like
loads of very ghetto, where there's these, I don't want to say gangster, but I don't know what else to call them. These bad boys that dress kiankis. If they dress up like this, for you, if you don't see any other example, a gentleman wearing a suit, what can I actually do? I can't really fault you. This is what you are seeing, what you're growing around. So this is your mentality. It's like your clothes in the box. So it's like, I don't really blame them in that aspect. So definitely it's influenced through trends. In terms of fixing that, I think it's a psychological thing. Yeah. It is, because you don't shame them and say, this is wrong what you're doing. Of course not. Because then they're not actually going to listen. Make them understand why this doesn't look nice. Bring them to a shop. When the security guards will start following them around, it's like you feel uncomfortable. Tell them, come back the next day in another outfit and see if they'll be following you around. That already is one example right there. There's just ways. I think you have to actually teach people rather than tell people.
Do you think like speaking verbally to someone who is who has I would not say closed-minded, because that's basically all they've been seeing all their life, for example, right? Then speaking to them verbally is not the right way, but you need to show them. You
definitely need to show them. Action speaks wiser than words. You know, I'm a action and words person. However, some people, it's like they actually, if you speak, it will come through one ear and come right out the other. If you show them, it's like let them analyze and observe for themselves. It's self-reflection, right? So, you know, or tell them, even going to the airport, even just walking on the main road to your corner shop, if there's a police van, you know they're going to stop you. That's just based on how you are dressed. Because a lot of the times, you don't understand why you are being stopped. Okay, but please, when you're looking at the people that get arrested, when you look at their mugshots, when you look at, I don't know, whatever the picture shows, you are dressing up like them.
Okay. You
are dressing up like them. So you're basically, in my eyes, you're making it, I don't know, kind of easier for people. They see it as, instead of us going out of our way to figure out who's the undercover gangster or whatever, it's like, oh, there's someone that's dressed as a gangster. Let me just go and pull up and stop and search. And obviously, yes, I don't condone some of the police brutality, no. I'm against that.
You're basically prejudging someone by the way they look because of, wow.
Yeah, and trust me, it happens a lot in society. Sometimes I may do it myself. Like if it's in the dark and I see a guy that's in a tracksuit, God knows the amount of times that I'm putting my head down and I start running. You know, I don't want trouble. Or I start making noise. Yeah. I'm dramatic like that. I'll start making noise to say, if you want to try me, at least I've made noise that I've alerted you. Because I get scared. Because for me, you're dressed like this. The way I see it, my mind thinks fast. I'm like, okay, the CCTV here, you're dressed up all in black in a tracksuit. I don't know, trousers down, them kind of, I don't know, outfits, uniforms, Tokyo Lingi. The CCTV will be very hard for the CCTV to pick that up, you know? Because it's like it's dark, your outfit is blending in with the dark. Whereas someone that's in jeans or whatever, you know. Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's jump on the next question. I believe that the person that has asked that question, you got your answer. So the best way to be able to fix this issue is not just, to speak verbally, because it may just come in and come out, but is to be able to show the person that, hey, this is the best way, maybe to take this person and show them things that will be able to, to change their outfit and change their appearance in that way. All right. So, because the same person was like, okay, you know what, like, because I don't see really youngster wearing, for example, classic suits, and why is it though? Why is it in this generation? And the second question that I wanted to ask, for coming from a young man actually called James, he wanted to find out what is it with the color black. All right, so color black in our in our culture, the 21st century, he feels like the 21st century has embraced color black more. Now I wonder whether it is just in England, whether it is just in London, or is other places that he's seen it. Now, color black, as someone who is a fashion stylist, someone who's a beauty pageant, and someone who has two different culture, what would you say about black? Because black in African culture is funeral, you're sad. In a religious way, though we don't want to go there, is satanic and so forth. Like it's just it's really something that is more like negative than really beautiful. So what would you say about the color black?
I think that's a very hard question, James.
Because a lot of moms are really worried about their children when they keep on wearing black. What do you say?
It's a very hard question because I think it depends more so who are you speaking to. If I'm speaking to, let's say, someone, a Congolese person or Ghanaian, because I know that's their uniform color, black for them, it symbolizes, sometimes, I don't want to say death, but yes, it, falls hand in hand, because when there's a matanga, a funeral happening, you wear black. Not even that, I think as well, even in British cultures and westernized cultures, when you go to the funerals, you dress up all in black. Yeah. But then I think black as well, a lot of times people wear it because it can make you, it can give an appearance that you are much more skinnier and slimmer. So it's a trick actually that people use. A lot of ladies do this. If you wear black, it makes you more, today if I want to look very skinny, I'm going to go for black. I do that purposely only for that. However, black as well, some people that don't know how to express themselves in style and colors, black is an easy color. You can never go wrong with black. It's like, even if you're in a rush, it's like, okay, this black top, black trousers, it's clean.
Yeah.
Compared to like mix and matching colors and failing to have it complement one another. You see, black, it's just an easy way out. But then black, in my eyes, I think it symbolizes sophistication and elegance.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Black is just, it's very, there's something about it. For me, it's beautiful. For some black nails, I love black for some reason. I don't know. For me, I just see it as sophistication. But I think when you're in the whole fashion world, when you're following things that's in the fashion world, like me, that's always like looking at magazines and stuff. This is what black symbolizes to me. So I think it more so depends, who am I speaking to? Am I speaking to someone that's of this background where I know they interpret it as this and stuff, or
Would you say, if for example a parent comes to you as a coach, or or advice, for example, and say, my child keeps on wearing black all the time, can you help? What would you like? What will be your first steps, for example, to to help out, if I may say, you're trying to understand what's happening with the child?
I'd ask you, how old is this child?
Okay, why is the age so important?
It's important because if the child is in their 20s and upwards, I don't want to sound harsh, but I don't think anyone has a say really in how they dress. Especially when you're a teenager, you're expressing yourself, you're trying to find your style.
Okay.
I've gone through different styles. I've gone through the whole, I want to dress up like those seductive models, and in the music videos, I was watching Sierra, all of this. It's like, okay, I wanted to dress up sexy, but then again, I wanted to dress up very, very girly, where you always see me in pink. Then I went through, now I want to be more sophisticated. I think as a young adult, you're just trying to find your style. So I don't think anyone really has the right to say, this is how you should dress, or that's how you should dress. No. So that's why I'd ask that question. It's important. If obviously the child is, let's say, 12 and under, they don't really know much about the whole fashion world. I don't think they're old enough to
understand.
Yes. I don't think their brains.
Do you think it's just because of trend that they're following and they're telling themselves just to wear black? Or
you may have to ask your child. If your child's under 12 and they keep wearing black, ask your child, say, oh, is this your favorite color? Or, sometimes it's like, I think goths as well and emos, it falls hand in hand with black. If, I don't want it to, I don't like judging.
The child, for example, may be going through maybe depression.
Yeah, because a lot of times.
something happens and then they feel like, let me just, because color speaks, right?
Yeah.
So you may imprison yourself in a specific color. Maybe because you feel so joyful, you like, pink is my color.
Yeah.
Or today I feel so joyful, Or maybe I feel really sad because something happened, or I am depressed, or So the parents tend to kind of follow the things that they do see and hear, especially when it comes to their culture as well. So.
But parents, let me ask you this: if your child is bubbly and they're wearing black, would you still be asking that question? I don't think so. So it's not about, après on dit, the clothes do not wear you, you wear the clothes. So if your child is given, you know, you're perceiving your child as someone that may be depressed, potentially depressed, or is depressed, is it the clothes or is it a personal issue? You need to, it's like you're looking at the wrong thing. Clothes is nothing. They're clothes. You can take off their clothes.
Yeah.
You can give them, I don't know, something red. Wear red tomorrow or white. But it doesn't mean that the child's behavior may change.
True.
So it's not about the clothes. You wear the clothes. The clothes don't wear you.
You wear the clothes doesn't wear you.
Yeah, so I think you need to approach your child with other questions. Yeah.
All right. So I believe that we spoke about the trend as well, you know, or how to really, do you think, no, I would say, do you think trends can really take you to the point where you do forget your culture background?
Yes.
Because it seems like you know, when the wave of trend comes in, this is how they wear, and then boom, it changes, it goes to another, and the trains of BBL, trains of this, trains of, you know, it's one thing after another. It's like, okay, you know what, though I am from the Christian family, though I'm from the Muslim family, though you coming from a Buddhist family, though I'm coming from this kind of family, because the trend is there, like I'm gonna move because I want to be like that. Like, what do you say about trend, really? Because we're talking about the impact of culture in this time. Do you think it's easy for them to forget who they are in terms of their culture because of trend?
I wouldn't say forget, but I'll say it's easy for you to lose yourself.
Okay.
You can lose yourself. Yeah, definitely. I think that happens to everybody, and I think that's normal.
Okay.
It's normal because that only, when you now come back to your culture, it reinforces the love between you and your culture.
But is it normal though? Because if you do lose
I think
yourself,
it's normal because the thing is, it's like it's like you get lost, you'll find yourself again. You know, it's not a permanent thing.
There's those one who lost themselves and never found themselves back.
Do they want to find themselves? Is the question. There's always a possibility to everything. I myself, I've incorporated a lot of the Western culture. To be honest, Western culture is our culture because we are here, you know. But then there's times where it's like, okay, I wanted to dress up very sexy, wear these very, very mini shorts and stuff with mini crop tops, you know, because I was following I don't know, you know, the pop culture. Yeah, around Rihanna, all these beautiful girls. I was like, I wanted to be like this. And I remember a lot of the times, those that have been following me, let's say, as a content creator for a while, you would have seen the transition. It's like you would have never, ever seen anything cultural, like, on my page, ever. It's like I didn't own anything cultural, you know. And then, obviously, I think when I started hanging around other girls that do, that kind of puts you back on track. It won't put you completely back on track, but it's an influence. You can be influenced by trends. You can be influenced around people around you, especially when the person is doing it nicely. I've got friends that, you know, embrace their culture and wear it very well, and I'm like, okay, she can rock this and she's beautiful. I can rock this too. But then that's already you having that thought, even if you don't go ahead with the act. The fact that you had the thought is already enough, you know. Especially after that, I was seeing other girls on TikTok. It depends on your algorithm. You get to decide what your algorithm is based on what you are searching online. If I now start typing in, okay, African dresses or cultural outfits, it's like, okay, I'm seeing this, I'm liking this. Slowly, I started incorporating it onto my lifestyle, into my page, and I'm happy because it reinforced my love.
Okay.
Yeah, it reinforced my love. So if tomorrow I decide to switch sides again, Chantal didn't lose herself. She intentionally, you know, did it. So
I like that. All right. So up to our next our next question. Between, because you are Congo and you are Guinea, right? I'm gonna be a little harsh here, guys. All right. So Congo. Do you think the Congolese people, you know, when it comes to just their mindset and so forth, are the most easiest ones to really lose themselves to when it comes to other cultures. The reason why I'm asking this is because I've seen so many Congolese, not even just me, but because in that talk of every day, you see Congo, wear, Rasta, locks and so forth. Though they're not Rastafarian, but they don't really care. Do you think that is because of they really do not care about who they are? They rather embrace other cultures and really ignore or lose their own culture.
I'd say no and no, honestly.
Okay.
I got blonde hair. Am I a blonde? No, but I'm very much still embracing and proud of my background. But I'm wearing this. This has nothing to do with Congo. This has nothing to do with Guinea. Right? So I don't think so. I think that's just you expressing yourself as an individual. So that has nothing now to do with your cultures. That's to do with you. And this is one thing I appreciate about Congolese people. Okay. As much as people may call them, oh, they're bold, they're loud, they're troublesome, these people are warriors. It's like they're proud of themselves. It's like even when you can laugh at them when they're wearing their bright colors or the exaggerated outfits, but that's dumb. It's like being Congolese is being confident. Let me say that. Whenever you think of Congo, think of confidence.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's like even the dance moves, a lot of the things, it's like other countries will call it, oh, this is provocative dancing, but it's like, no. For example, the whining and the waist movements. It's like in a lot of countries, if you do that, it's like, my gosh, get off stage, get off, But it's like when you now do that in Congo, it's like you see many clips doing this. Even, let's just say if we're going into the whole, what's the word when you, non-secular.
Okay.
The non-secular world. It's like there's still a bit of wine independent of your tradition. Sokyoza Muluba, there's wine movements. Maybe it might not be exaggerated, but it's still there, So I think being Congolese is just being confident, being proud. I'm so appreciative. Even if I wasn't Congolese, just having Congolese friends, for me, it's a lot. We're very confident people. We're loud, we're outspoken, and this is how people should be. So... to answer your question, it's no and no. That's an individual thing now. That's nothing to do with your culture.
Oh, wow. I like that. Last question is how to still impact us, the youngster in this generation, in our 21st century, you and I, how to still impact our generation with our culture, how to do it and how to mark ourselves. And while I'm asking, while we're speaking, if we can please put some videos that I put together for Princess Shani and some pictures of hers. So if you can give us the answer.
I think this is where the public figures and influencers need to step up the game.
You are a public figure.
That is true, and I do my role in terms of representing my cultures, but I cannot obviously, I'm just one person. Don't see me like, okay, pretty tall girl, no. I cannot do it alone. You have the likes, for example, like Tonton Barbie Mundele Ndombe. He's doing a very, very good job. If we're going to be honest, it takes more people like this to be proud. In the beginning, you're looking at them like, oh, what's wrong with them? I'm not crazy. I know what I'm doing. I'm not crazy. As much as I may be perceived sometimes for being too outgoing, no. This is what it takes. No, if I don't do it, if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? No one. We'll be stuck in the same place, especially this generation, the diaspora in this generation. We will not be advancing. We won't. We're not back home. Especially look at many people, since they've left their country, when have they gone back? Or when are they even planning to go back if that was in their mind? Those that were born here, have they even left? A lot of people I've met, they have never even been. And if they go sometimes because there's a funeral, which is sad. It's like my country, I should only go there when it's a funeral.
Someone died.
That's sad. That is really sad. It's like, go and, I don't know, explore. You know, your family's there, yes, that's one thing, but it's like, explore. Like, I don't know, you'll do tourism in other countries, but your own country is like you're neglecting it. Why? For what?
And this is literally driving me to talk about La Guinée.
La Guignoles.
Yes. And this is literally something that I love this. How you came with this ideas to balance both worlds. Can you talk to us a little bit about this?
Yeah, sure. So obviously, I think I'm not going to just say in the Francophone world.
If La Régie can please put the picture of this event in order to show the world really about this great idea.
Yes. So the thing is with Congolese culture, it's like everybody knows Congolese culture, whether you're African or not. We know the flags, we know the music. You know, we had great icons like the Papa Wembas and Kofi Olomide who paved the way, you know, for the diaspora, because they're one of the first few people that come over here. Especially you got people like Joe Ballard who come being one of the first few sapeurs. That already is a lot. So it's like, you know, who knows the combats, the risks they had to go through to do this. It's like, you know, they paved the name for us ideally. Whether it's good or bad, the point is they paved the name. So the thing is, when you go to, whether it's Ivorian parties or events, clubs, or even Ghanaians or Nigerians, you will always hear at least 1 ounce of Congolese music. Whether it's Awilo Longoma or Kofi Olomide, let's be very honest, you know.
Even Nando's we do here.
Exactly, Nando's, especially when you're trying to eat your chicken in peace. But the thing is, you will never go to a Congolese party and you will hear like Guinean music or Senegalese music or South African, unless maybe in our generation in the clubs. But let's be honest, it's like we're to ourselves. So we don't really incorporate other people's cultures from what I've seen, unless you're in the club. You know, that's what I've seen. It's not really a generalized thing. And the thing is, like I said, obviously when I go to my Guinean events, we incorporate other people's, you know. And the thing is, I have Guinean friends that go out of the way. They will go to Congolese events. They embrace it, you know, even if they're just pretending to be Congolese for the night, you know, it's something. But it's like I've never really seen other Congolese people go out their way, oh, let me come to this Guinean event. Obviously, they're going to feel very overstimulated. It's like different type of food, because remember you said at the beginning, the two cultures are completely different. So the food is going to be different, the drinks are going to be different, the music, you'll be overwhelmed. You know, we have artists in both countries, but we have also griots, which do not exist in Congo, which are traditional artists that sing your whole lineage, your whole background from your great parents. You know, they remember all this information, so they're basically like a walk-in library. We don't really have that in Congo. You sing, they're praising your family, they're praising your ancestors. Therefore, tu leur récompense. Like, you know, I'm giving you something. I'm showing you some type of gratitude, you know, gratefulness. We don't have that over there. And this is what makes Francophone West Africa very unique. So I said, okay, already Bazins is more it's more popular. It exists anywhere, but it's more popular in the Guinean, Senegalese, that whole region. So I remember like how when I said embracing both my cultures, I obviously had to learn these things. When I said hearing the music, I didn't like it.
Oh, wow.
No, I didn't, because it's like, this is different to rumba or dombolo. So I was like, what's this? Which is normal, because you're still discovering.
You just started, like, it's new.
The food, it's like, oh, this is spicy, you know. With Congolese people, it's not really common to cook with the spice in the food. We usually set the spice, some people, to the side. Obviously, you got some, it varies, but the majority of the times we do not cook with 4 or 5 Scotch bonnets inside. Is that like I did? However, in the West African region, this is what they do, you know. So it's like, I remember I started discovering these things, and I started saying, okay, actually, I like this. I started wearing the outfits, and then I'll wear it to around my Congolese or my Central African family and friends. And it's like, oh, what's this? What's this? In the beginning, it's like you're kind of getting, not say shamed, but like made fun of. It's like, oh, what is this? What is that? But then obviously with me, remember, the clothes do not wear me.
Yeah.
I wear the clothes.
You wear the clothes.
Donc avec charisme. You see, so that's what it was, and then that already you are influencing people, whether it's one or two. That already is powerful.
Exactly.
Then it becomes, okay, I also want to wear this, I want to wear that. But then I remember sometimes sharing amongst my cousins or letting them know of the new styles and stuff. I asked myself, but why are you going to wear it? Because if you were to wear it to a Congolese event, you're going to look like the black sheep.
Yeah.
It's like, not only you didn't decide to go for a nice westernized dress, or at least liputa, but you went for a whole different thing. They're going to look at you like, They will laugh. You know, Congolese people, they're very good. They'll finish with you. But at least you can go to the West African parties and you can wear whatever you want to wear. No one's looking at you or calculating you. But so I was like, that's going to be quite hard. So I remember I had created my own little mini version of the Guignolese events at home.
Whoa.
With just maybe 10 girls.
Okay.
Some Central African and some West African. Obviously, they were incorporated in one another's, and it was quite successful. It went very well. And I thought, okay, so it's also like social science experiment. So I said, okay, good. Now that I've tried this, I know it was just 10 girls. I said, let me try and do this with the public. Let's see where it's going to go. So at least that way, my Guinean friends that's always wanted to see flash mobs or at least sapeurs or be around that ambience.
Yes.
This is the time where you can now
showcase yourself.
Exactly, and be a part of the experience. My Congolese side, or people that always wanted to be and see griots in real life, or not just through Facebook or TikTok. This is the time where you can now, you'll see them.
Exactly.
So I thought, okay.
Wow.
So that was it, and people, they definitely enjoying the experiences. Every year I'm seeing new faces. We incorporate other more cultural elements just so to elevate the experience. We cannot obviously bring everything once in the table. You don't want to scare people away.
Exactly.
Because people can become overwhelmed. So you just small by small, you know, like this year now, I said it's the 3rd edition. So we have the king of SAP coming.
Ooh.
Joe Ballard. So I couldn't do that in the beginning, can I? It would have shocked you guys. It would have put you guys on a chokehold, but he's coming. It's the 3rd edition.
I love that. So when is this happening? Because we need to know exactly what date in order to invite every single one of you guys. Is every single year in which month?
So it's happening, the following is happening in the 25th. On the 25th of October 2025, it will be happening in East London, and get your tickets if the tickets finish.
So it's already out.
The tickets are out.
Guys, the tickets are already out. If you're Congo, you're Guinea, and any other culture, do not stay behind. Do not stay behind. Get your ticket and make sure that you're already there, because we want to discover more of not just the Congolese, as we say, but more like of the Guinea side, because as you said, like, you know, you guys are more into yourself, but you're trying to come out of your cocoon. I love that. I really do love that.
Thank you. So it's definitely not to be missed, you know. And it's different.
Wow.
I mean, people, we should like different. It's not every day, let's just go to the club, Ningsa Loketo. No. There's more to it. It's something that's educational.
Don't discover everything. Don't tell them everything.
Of course.
Guys, you just need to be there. So now, apart from the this amazing event that you do every single day,
every
single year, what is next for you? What is the next step for you?
Oh la la. I can't say everything, otherwise it won't be a surprise.
I just one thing.
Otherwise you will have no business tuning into my page. Ou bien, you know, and but there's a lot happening. We've only started 2025 not long ago. You know, I thank God every day for the opportunities and stuff. So there's definitely a lot to look out for. A lot of transitioning as well will be happening. Not a rebrand, but transition.
I like that.
So there's a lot to come.
All right, so she's keeping it secret. So you can keep on tuning in, you know, on her page. What is your page?
Princess Shani on Instagram, Princess Shani on TikTok. Bref, Princess Shani partout.
Partout. So if you also want to, you know, contact her as a model or just, you know, come in and appear on your show, go ahead, because she's an amazing diamond, beautiful diamond. So we are ending the show, and we spoke about this impact of culture, fashion in the 21st century. And these are just few questions that we highlighted, but this topic is going to come back again in order to talk more about culture and religion. And I believe that these two subjects are quite big, and I'm not going to do it by myself. Of course, I'm going to have a guest. And so I really will appreciate if you keep on tuning in order to receive a little bit more, because Etincelle is about you coming from somewhere and going somewhere in terms of knowledge, in terms of our mind being more open-minded, or the things that we do have in our daily life. It can help you, it can help someone else around the world. And today it was Princess Shani that has opened the envelope in order to speak her mind on this culture and this both culture actually.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you. It was a massive
And
pleasure
I
to
hope
be
it's
here.
not the last time you're gonna don't disappear on me.
J'espère aussi.
Tu parles un peu français au
On
moins.
parle, on se débrouille un peu, hein?
Un peu. No, I love that. All right, so it was a pleasure having every single one of you today on Etincelle. And please tune in every single Tuesday, every single Monday at 8 p.m. And we really want to apologize today for starting a little bit late. We will have a technical issue, as you know. But please tune in at 8 p.m. every Monday. And we're going to see you very, very soon. It was your host, Gracia Susuzande. Ange Gracia Susuzande. See you soon. Bye-bye.